see, when we talk about inclusiveness in governance, we need to prepare the youth. It's not about protest. We need to protect, we need to include them. We need to bring them to the table to speak their minds and also contribute to national building. This is the reason why this
in other words, without this youth conference, that cannot happen.
It can happen, but there is need for this to happen so that the youths can be properly listened to.
So, you said that, I mean, one wonders, what is it? Is there any big thing that is going to come out of this conference? What they're going to say? Everybody will tell you, anyone who's been watching. Number one, the purchasing power parity, the petrol pricing. If they can't move from one place to the other, the lack or inadequate transport system in the country, insufficient food, security. So what is there for them? Those are the issues that need to be addressed.
The government is already addressing a lot. If you look at today's speech by the president, he talked about agriculture. He commended some states that are actually going into agriculture in a real time, and he also encouraged some other states to follow suit, so that, because if you have a Ministry of Agriculture in a state, because everybody look at the presidency, everybody's fingers are pointing at the presidency, the state governments, they have a whole lot of responsibility. You have the Ministry of Agriculture. What are they doing? What have they been able to achieve in their different states in making sure that there is food for their people?
Are you asking me?
Well, yes, I'm asking you.
Well, the thing is that, look, as far as I'm concerned, leaders take responsibility. The governance starts from the center. And that's the way this country has been structured. All the big funding goes to the center. I agree that the subnational has a responsibility, but the actual concrete leadership step starts with the center. And that's why I believe that, yes, I believe that gathering of the youth is absolutely important, and I want to commend the youth of this country. You're visionary, you have ideas. Take this opportunity and know that this is the time to articulate those brilliant ideas and have it documented so that we can hold those that will refuse to implement it accountable.
Exactly.
It's a forum to gather ideas and disseminate ideas.
But
yeah.
Assuming, without considering the conference holds, they come up with lofty ideas. If they don't implement it, what law would they have gone against?
Well,
when you say you hold them accountable.
Well, the point is that the ideas, of course, Chamberlain, we live in a global village. Everything will be in the open. We will know who said what and how.
We've had conferences before. We've known who said what before. What did we do about all of those? It ended up, when it came to the point of discussing the sharing, the revenue allocation formula, resource control, that's where everybody was divided.
Well,
then they threw the baby with the bathwater away.
Chamberlain, I'm very optimistic. Yes, we've had similar conferences before. The fact that we failed yesterday does not mean we'll fail today. I believe that this is a worthy opportunity and a worthy cause to put out the agenda of the youth. And I pray that the actual youth will be in this conference, not those who are older than me. Yes, political youths, and using it. If the president and the government in power will not politicize this ideology, I believe it will chart a future for the country called Nigeria.
Well, I want to be optimistic, as you are, with regards to this particular. This is a 30-day confab he's proposed. 30 days. In other words, it will happen for a whole month. It doesn't say where, though. It's 30-day confab will unite young people nationwide to collaboratively develop solutions to issues such as education, etc. The modalities of this confab and selection of delegates will be designed in close consultation with our young people through their representatives.
Well, House of Reps?
And that is a bit scary. So
I heard that too.
I'm wondering
But you also have
which representatives are we talking about?
you also have the National Youth Council. They have a major role to play here.
Dr. Bure.
So that's the problem, you see, because for a number of some of these official, will I say bodies that are supposed to represent the youth, majority of Nigerian youths, majority of them do not identify with these bodies. As a matter of fact, a lot of them don't even know that they exist. So there will be very strong questions as to whether this is going to be like this new national anthem that was just passed through, just
Through the
somehow,
back door.
just so that it happens. Very big questions. I think the Nigerian youth will need to be very vigilant on this. But what would you recommend? Because it shouldn't be like some SUG government.
Of course, not be part of
that.
part of it.
Was in many schools, and a lot of people, if you ask them, they say those people they've been there for many years. They go in, they never graduate. They come into school, they're there. They go to school, they're there. So what do you recommend, sir? How would you recommend that, we actually do get the voices of the people who would actually be the real voices of young people that, when they mention their names, the young person say, I know that person, and I think that person can represent my voice. How will you suggest that we go about that? I don't want to, and I don't mean this in any way to insult anyone, but if people say that they are university graduates, for instance, you should be able to hear that in terms of how they speak. But oftentimes, our union representatives, especially for student union groups, fall short of that simple criteria.
Well, for me, you see, this is the problem I have with governance in general. The word of the president carries power. I expected him to tell us how. The idea has been given.
He said how.
No, how in terms of your representative. I would expect him to say, I have constituted, or maybe I have consulted widely, and this is how we're going to achieve this. But let me give my little advice on the way forward. Number one, the process has to be inclusive. Every segment of the country and the society needs to be brought on board. If they politicize this, it will be an exercise in futility.
What do you mean every segment?
Every aspect of this country
There's a lot.
needs to be represented. No, it's not. It depends.
Tribes and tongues section. What exactly?
Well, states. Let's even start with states.
Okay.
All right, states. And in each state, you make sure that there is proper representation, taking into consideration gender, taking into consideration professionalism, taking into consideration influence. A youth that has the influence and the heart and the mind of his people, that can speak not for himself, but for the people. That selection is very, very important. The other thing is, who is selecting? Who is going to do this? Is it someone that is trusted, will make a concrete decision that will be seen as representing everyone?
Spell out the
criteria. The criteria needs to be properly articulated, and in articulating that criteria, make sure you have the right thinking people, strategic thinkers in the room to help shape the process.
This is actually a very interesting, because it doesn't even say how many young people we're looking to.
Exactly.
Host. I mean, just
one is 30 days.
Well, they say the devil is in the details.
Exactly. So we don't know. And I'm just thinking right now that perhaps my earlier, because my mind immediately went to students, and yes, I think yes. Well, we will say that those people in NANS should be able to at least look like what the average Nigerian graduate looks like. But let us leave that out and say, look, let's go down to the grassroots, because they have young people amongst them. They have community groups, and those groups were not leaders of those groups who are accepted amongst them might not necessarily be fluent in the
traditional institution
in English language. So there will be questions there as to how do you drill down? How do you make sure that all cadres, all types of youths are accommodated, those who representing town unions, those who I don't know. When you see this, do you think that the president was also thinking along those lines?
You see, I want to believe that before he came out with this kind of platform for the youths to come together and air their voices, I believe that is something that is going to trickle down to the grassroots. From leadership starts even from the traditional institution.
Indeed.
Right? So every king should be carried along in this, because
Are kings youths?
No. Listen, when I said this, they know the youths that are responsible in their domain. They know the youths that are responsible. They know the ones that can represent their community to make a proper presentation at such conference. So they should be considered number one in choosing those who are to attend this conference, because when every traditional leader picks up youths and send the names to the national, it forms a national thing from the grassroots. So I think that's the best way to go about this, because if you say, let us leave it in the hands of governors, the hands of local government chairmen, politicians, but certainly we will not be able to get or achieve the purpose.
If we have to be realistic with ourselves in this country, from what we have seen happen over time, you don't think governors will just sit back and just watch?
No, they're going to be part of
they will influence it one way or the other.
Yeah.
There is,
it will happen whether we see that.
Who appoints kings?
Well, that's
who give kings.
Exactly. That's also
of office.
That's also part of their representative.
Yeah.
The governor is the first leader of a state.
They are elected,
and is elected.
Legitimate, democratically legit elections. So that's going to be key. So how do we manage? How do we ensure they don't politicize that?
Listen, but this is a foundation for future leadership that the president is trying to put together right now. Because even if at the end of all these strenuous, these audacious reforms and all that is making Nigerians to pass through one problem or the other, because the president assures us, is even aware that Nigerians are passing through a lot. So which means that he is trying to handle most of the things for the long-term
he should be
growth.
And that's a subsidy removal.
Great. So if we don't prepare a proper foundation for tomorrow, those who will take over, then we will fall back to where we are. So this is a very good initiative that the governors should not interfere with in terms of politics when they want to make choices of those who should attend to represent the youth at this conference. Because if you make it political, then it's not going to achieve the goal that we are looking for. We need the right people, the right youths, the right thinking youths from the streets, from the grassroots to be part of this exercise. Then we can have a better tomorrow for them.
Okay, well, let's move on now, because we can only do so much with the speech that the president gave in terms of, this 30-day confab, which he suggested. I mean, I think largely we will rest on speculation if we're to look, because it's very short on detail. But I think that's certainly, something that a lot of people need to watch out for in the coming days, and be vigilant. That it is only the people that can speak for you in your community that are sent to that 30-day confab. But let's look at another area which is crucial to where we currently are, the economy. The president, from the very get-go, I was surprised that the speech started that upfront. He said, fellow Nigerians, as I address it today, I am deeply aware of the struggles many of you face in these challenging times. Let's get it. Let's get done with the niceties, and let's talk about it. I'm aware of this. And then he goes on to, mention that in several places in his speech, while we celebrate progress made, we must also recognize some of our missed opportunities and mistakes of the past. So, he goes on and on that. But the part that really caught my attention is with this, the economy, when he talked about the disciplined approach by the central bank to monetary policy management has ensured stability and predictability in our foreign exchange market. We inherited a reserve of $33 billion 16 months ago. Since then, we've paid back the inherited forex backlog of $7 billion. We've cleared the ways and means debt of over 30 trillion naira. We have reduced the debt service ratio from 97% to 68%. Despite all of this, we've managed to keep our foreign reserve at $37 billion. And I am just wondering that, if this is the situation, if this is really the situation, I'm hoping that the people who are feeding the president this information have been totally truthful with him.
Absolutely.
That's the hope that we should have. But, sometimes in this country, this is number one man saying this. Do you think anybody would want to toy with that sort of information that was given the president?
Well, you can say all you want to say, which he is the leader of the country, he has every right to say and to produce these economic indices. But the question remains, the common man is not feeling any of those. The struggle has intensified. The hunger is alarming. And people want to know that whatever you're doing translates to everyday living, which we're not seeing. Now, don't get me wrong. I am a believer in long-term planning. I know that some of these things will have maybe a better long-term eventually, but currently, and that's my issues.
Okay.
We need to address the current reality.
All right. Well, let's just speak a little more about that when we return after this short break. Staying with us. All right, welcome back. Mr. Pele, please go ahead.
Yeah, Chamberlain, what I was saying is that the discontent with how the economy is being managed still remains, no matter whatever is said. I think the problem, I'm not an economist, but I know a little to know that we are still struggling with managing the forex, the foreign exchange component of this economy. That reform has not paid off glowingly. Taking into cognizance the fact that the dollar keeps rising astronomically. We have a geometric jump in the dollar. Today is 1.6 in the black market, and whether we like it or not, the black market have a overarching effect on the economy of this country. We haven't been able to manage how and regulate that component, and it's taking effect in everything we do. Today is 1.6, tomorrow is 1.7, the next day, and people are predicting, economists are predicting that maybe before the end of this year, it will skyrocket to 2,000 naira per dollar. And I think that's one aspect that the central bank needs to look into. I was listening to the central bank governor, a guy that I respect. I have a lot of respect for him. But all the things he said, all the nice things he said, I was watching him to zero in on financial inclusion. It was not there. And when you begin to do or create an economy that leaves certain group of people behind, you will never get a holistic result. So the problem is we have the the foreign exchange crisis. We have food crisis. The prices of foods are skyrocketing. I know how much my wife will ask me for a pot of soup today. When she mentions, I quake. So it's affecting the common man. And as long as the common man is not situated, is not able to put food on their table.
It's only common man that eat it. Everybody else.
Well, Chamberlain, I don't think you're struggling with 3 square meals. I don't think I don't think. Yeah, but people are really, really struggling. Until we balance it, what we are saying with what is happening to the people.
All right,
we are not going to make
Dr.
very meaningful progress.
Yeah, I think the CBN and
let me rephrase the question. So the question will be, all of these things that the president have said, remarkable as they are, Mr. J.K. Pele just, hit on the head that it's not exactly being felt. But by now, we should be able to feel this optimism, especially the fact that we've been able to clear significant debts, Ways and Means 30 trillion cleared. We should be feeling it in the exchange rate, shouldn't we?
Yeah, you see, you're right, but these things are gradual. These are issues of finances. If you listen very carefully, you will hear the CBN telling you that the exchange rates are controlled by the market forces. Where I have a problem is who are the market forces? Because there are invisible people. There are invisible people that are not tamed, which I feel that CBN should address properly.
Who do you think they are?
I don't work in CBN.
No, you said they are invisible.
Yes,
people.
They are invisible
people. Who do
people.
you think?
Okay, now let me tell you something. At the beginning of every month, if you take note at the exchange rates, the forex rises at the beginning of every month.
You think some people go and buy?
And we feel that there are people who are not trading or in businesses that requires forex, having or buying the forex off the streets. And the CBN need to take a look at this holistically and address it, because the problem we are facing today about inflation is not actually about the subsidy remover, because the exchange, the forex, is part of the problem that is affecting the cost of petrol today.
No, are you suggesting then that it may be possible that they are not passing the entirely appropriate information to the president?
No. You see, it's a work in progress. I think the CBN is doing everything they can, but these things
what about
are
the
not
visible ones you spoke about?
No, that's what I'm saying. They need to push their torchlights there, but it's a work in progress. The reforms are being rolled out. gradually they will take effect. And some of these things will be tamed eventually. But these things are not electronics you walk into the shop to buy and install in your house. So they take some time to reflect on everything. But at this point, I think we need to be patient, at least with the president. Let's be patient with him. We've got to this stage. We can't go back from where we are this moment. We just need to adjust a whole lot around us, accommodate the reality of today, and hope for a better tomorrow.
Accommodate hunger.
I differ a little bit. You see, for me, the management of fiscal policies, the application, the implementation, and the overarching effect of all of those policies on the common man is important. As much as we are preaching being patient, we have done 16 months. By now, we should be feeling the benefits of all these fiscal policies. I think there's too much trial and error. We try this, it doesn't work, we change. We try this, it doesn't work, we change. The economist, and like I said, I have a lot of respect for this central bank governor. You know, he did extremely well in Lagos and all that. But there's a need to surround yourself with right-thinking people that will give you true position. And I agree with you. Most of the things that is being fed to the presidency may not necessarily be what is happening. Somebody wants to save his job.
Okay,
you know?
let me
so
add
we
this
need
one.
to be very proactive and pragmatic.
Now, how much more patience would the people need? For instance, inflation. Look at the inflation rate. Time and again. The CBN governor said, we will keep increasing this inflation rate.
Okay. Listen, Shembali, the situation we are is akin to a crack wall, right, in a building. All we do every time is get a putty to fill the crack and paint it. So at some point, the weight of the cracks also affects the putty, and you see it breaking up again, and they keep doing this. But this administration, the president said, look, we are going to take the bull by the horn. Yes, the people are going to feel the pain, but on the long run, everyone will be happy. So we are gradually getting there. There are some progresses that have been made. And
with the inflation rate,
there are progresses that have been made. We cannot just be looking at the federal government. What are the states doing? Right now, the states are getting more money. What are they doing?
Don't deflate the question. Well, what I'm asking is this. Business persons, manufacturers are they're looking at those figures. They're asking, we can't borrow at this stage. No new investment can come at this stage. We can't even sustaining our businesses. And we're looking to see, is this inflation rate coming down, or else we'll keep laying off? And there is
impact.
What is the impact?
There's an impact.
It was increased by how many basis points last time? What's the impact?
There's an impact of about $30 billion that have come in.
I'm talking about inflation.
Excuse me.
How does it affect
if the economy is not inviting or looking good, you wouldn't have that kind within a year. Yeah. So we have.
This is where we're not being realistic.
No.
We're talking about what? I'm talking about the announcement made by the CBN governor. Is he not aware of those billions that's coming? But they keep saying we will keep increasing this inflation rate. That's our reality. So, industry watchers are looking at us and listen, we can't do business like this.
But things will get better.
Yeah, he says, look. They keep looking at this, say, listen, we can't invest in this because of this. Nobody can do business with those digits. No one can.
I think we need to do what America has just done.
Which is reduce it?
Yes.
But they will keep increasing.
Now, like I said, I don't dabble into what I don't have a total knowledge of. I'm not an economist. But the economies that I know is the economy that affects everyday Nigerian. The economy that affects me at home.
Not billions of dollars that's coming.
Exactly.
They say it will affect it eventually.
If you keep mentioning billions of dollars that are coming in, and there is no billions of benefits to the masses, it does not make sense. An economy that makes sense is an economy that is affecting the lives of the people and turning them from poverty and to above average situation where they can meet their daily needs. That's what is important. No matter what you postulate here, no matter the economic indices you roll out, if it's not affecting the common man, there must be a short-term and a long-term effect.
But the common man is also part of the problems we're facing, because we are in a society where people take advantage of situations. If you take a look at when the fuel prices, let's say NNPC announced a new fuel price few weeks ago, right? The moment NNPC announced that, every filling station shut down. They stopped selling their old stock. So this is part of the problem.
Are they common man?
They are. They are part of the people that are making things difficult for everyone. Everybody raised their prices.
They don't have regulatory bodies to supervise and make sure that doesn't happen.
But
they don't have.
Yes, but
Doc, my friend, you speak as though you're not part of this society. Are you saying that
you're the society? I buy the same fuel
you don't feel exactly?
I buy the same fuel. I go to the same market, but I'm trying to make you understand that we Nigerians are part of the problem.
Yes, we are.
We take advantage of each other too much.
Doc,
we need to be patriotic. Nigerians, we need to be patriotic in the first place. You cannot just say because dollar has gone up, you have not even gone to the market, you have increased the prices in your shop.
Oh no, but that's what happens when there is inflation. However,
that is wrong.
There is one
thing very wrong. We cannot just be pointing fingers at the government alone. We also have our own responsibility.
So government has no solutions.
Government has a lot of solutions, and
they have a lot of responsibility. And one of the things that this presidency and president is not telling Nigerians is the fact that we had a problem with his past administration, which he inherited. Why are they not bringing out that narrative? Why are they not telling us that they inherited a dying economy that was in comatose? Why are they not telling us that?
Very silent on that.
But the president, the president mentioned it this morning that at the time he took over responsibility of the nation, the country was at a critical juncture. He mentioned
it wasn't very explicit.
He mentioned it. So what do you want him to say?
I want to thank both of you for coming on that controversial note. Dr. Obire and Mr. Jacob Pele. Happy Independence Day, all the same.
Happy Independence Day. Thank you guys for what you do. Thank you guys.
So thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time. I'm Chamberlain. So goodbye.
Thank you. I'm Maupe Ogun Yusuf. Happy Independence Day.
Can we have all officers and warrant officers in uniform please salute while the national anthem is being played? Please be seated. Your Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, invited guests, distinguished Nigerians, ladies and gentlemen, the Parade Commander, Lieutenant Colonel M.A. Yusuf, rides his stallion towards the special guest of honor to request permission to march off the color and the rest of the parade. Your Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Federal Republic of Nigeria, Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, invited guests, distinguished Nigerians, ladies and gentlemen, with the permission that has just been granted by the special guest of honor, we are gradually coming to the end of this unique and historic occasion, the 64th Independence Day anniversary celebration of our great nation, Nigeria. I hereby request the Commander Gas Brigade to please invite the special guest of honor to sign the anniversary cake. Cut the 64th Independence Day anniversary cake. Sign the anniversary register, I beg your pardon. Cut the 64th Independence Day anniversary cake, and thereafter release the pigeons symbolizing unity, peace, freedom, and progress. The following persons shall accompany the special guest of honor for this all-important exercise: the Vice President, the Senate President, Honorable Speaker, House of Representatives, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Secretary to the Federation, the National Security Advisor, the Chief of Staff to the President, the Chief of Defense Staff, as well as Service Chiefs and the Inspector General of Police. Having signed the anniversary register, the special guest of honor is moving to cut the anniversary cake. How do I see when they release the pictures? Okay, I'll see them fly. Can we please be seated, please? Please be seated. Please be seated, huh? They will sit when he's going. You know, it's not that he will go. Once he signs, he goes. A round of applause. Having signed the anniversary register, cut the anniversary cake, and released the pigeon, the special guest of honor will make his way out of the arena. Your Excellencies, the special guest of honor, Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, invited guests, distinguished Nigerians, ladies and gentlemen, please, as a mark of respect and indifference to the person and exalted office of the very special guest of honor, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Grand Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic, I very humbly request that we remain in our positions as the special guest of honor leaves the arena. We should please remain in our position. Thank you. Your Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Your Excellency the Vice President, the Senate President and the Honorable Speaker, House of Representatives, the Chief Justice of the Federation, Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, Honorable Ministers, the Chief of Defense Staff, Service Chiefs, distinguished invited guests, distinguished Nigerians, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Central Organizing Committee, members of the Nigerian Armed Forces, the Nigerian Police, and other security organizations and agencies, we appreciate the special guest of honor, members of the Diplomatic Corps, all our invited guests, and very distinguished Nigerians for being with us to mark this historic occasion. We pray and hope that you will join us next year to celebrate yet another Independence Day anniversary of our great nation, Nigeria. We wish you all journey mercies back to your various destinations. Bringing you live commentaries from the forecourt of the Presidential Villa are your compares for this 64th Independence Anniversary celebration, Captain Godfrey Anebiabapa, our Assistant Director, Army Public Relations, Guards Brigade, and my humble self, Colonel Olufumilade Adewumi Adebanjo, retired, former Director, Research and Development, Defense Industries Corporation of Nigeria. We were ably assisted by Lieutenant Bilkisu Odunayo Olokodano. Together we say a very big thank you to you all. God bless you.
The orderly sergeant dresses the quarter guard. The new guard commander calls all to show and orders the orderly sergeant, orderly corporal, and the quartermaster orderly to fall out. The Oddly Sergeant and Corporal are to quickly prepare the duty detail of the security guard before the end of the parade to enable individual soldiers know the duty location and the acts to deploy and secure throughout the tour of the duty of the guard. The Quarter Guard Sergeant and Duty Bigler takes post. The Quarter Guard Sergeant matches the incoming Quarter Guard for taking over from the outgoing Quarter Guard. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please now pave way for the next phase of this very important parade, which is the combined Nigerian Armed Forces Color Patrol. Please, happy viewing. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, you can see the graceful movement of the ensigns to the colors as they lift the colors and rest it on their shoulders in preparation for the color patrol. Compliment being paid here by the guards in absolute respect to the colors. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the four beats of the bass drum on parade we heard a while ago signifies the commencement of the color patrol. And on parade is a highly revered component of representation, the color party, which comprises of the ensigns, escort to the colors and the parade regimental sergeant majors. We encourage you to know that when the colors of the units or formation in the armed forces are on patrol, the entire unit of formation remain on very high alert all day. Today's full color patrol, which comprises the full colors of the nation and the armed forces, symbolizes that the armed forces of Nigeria are very much alert to defend the territorial integrity of Nigeria at all costs. As earlier mentioned, there are four colors on parade today, and these colors are carried by commissioned officers known as ensigns to the colors. The ensign to the national color is Captain Guano Danladi. He was born on 10th August 1996 into the family of architect and Mrs. Danladi Musa. He is an indigene of Komi local government area of Taraba State. He gained admission into the Nigerian Defense Academy on 27 September 2014 as a member of regular course and was commissioned on 5th October 2019 to the rank of a second lieutenant in the Army and posted to the Nigerian Infantry Corps. Captain Danladi holds a Bachelor of Engineering in Civil Engineering from Nigerian Defense Academy. Captain Danladi is happily married and his hobbies are reading, swimming, as well as listening to music. The ensign to the regimental colors of the Nigerian Army is Captain Idopise Marcus Ekong. Was born on the 22nd July 1985 in Nungodo, Ibesipo. He hails from Ibesipo, Asutan local government area of Akwa Ibom State. Captain Ekong was admitted into the prestigious Nigerian Defense Academy in January 2014 as a member of Short Service Course 42 on 13 September 2014. He holds a Bachelor of Art degree in Visual Arts and Technology from Cross River State University of Technology. He is of the Infantry Corps. Captain I.M. Ekong is happily married with 2 boys and he enjoys playing, watching football as well as swimming. The ensign to the Naval Regimental Color is Navy Lieutenant O.P. Akpelu. Lieutenant Okereke Philip Akpelu was born on 7 July 1992 into the family of late Katkis Akpelu Okereke Hyacinth and Ezine Lucy in Omoda, Egbeda local government area of Rivers State. Lieutenant Akpelu was admitted into the Kensarowiwa Polytechnic in January 2012 and subsequently graduated on 16 December 2016 with a higher national diploma in mass communication. He is a member of Directional Service Course 28. He is of the executive branch in the Department of Information. Navy Lieutenant Akpelu is single. At his leisure, he enjoys watching and playing football, cooking, driving, listening to music, as well as traveling. And the ensign to the regimental color of the Air Force is Flight Lieutenant Samuel Odafe Abe. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please may we all rise in absolute respect to the colors, while officers in warrant officers in uniform are to salute. Thank you. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, you may please take your seats. Thank you. The ensign to the regimental colors of the Air Force is Flight Lieutenant Samuel Odafe Abe. He was born on 1st February 1996 in Kaduna State and hails from Ugeli South local government area of Delta State. Flight Lieutenant S.O. Abe was admitted into the prestigious Nigerian Defense Academy in September 2014 and was subsequently granted regular combatant commission as a member of 66 regular combatant corps on 7th October 2019. He holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Computer Science from the Nigerian Defense Academy. Flight Lieutenant S.O. Abe is single and at his leisure he enjoys watching and playing football as well as singing and listening to music. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, that was an abridged version of the curriculum vitae for the ensigns to the colors for today's parade. We also have escorts to the colors and the parade regimental sergeant majors as part of the component of the color parties. Behind the national and regimental colors of the Nigerian Army is Master Warrant Officer Tadros Ridwa. Behind the Nigerian Navy color is Master Warrant Officer Adache Ogboji. And behind the Nigerian Air Force color is Master Warrant Officer Adamu Haladu. While we enjoy the color patrol, permit me to give you a short background on the history and significance of Color Patrol. At independence on 1st October 1960, the Nigerian national color and the services colors were first paraded in a symbolic and prestigious military parade known as the Color Patrol, symbolizing the unity and pride of the military as well as the nation as a whole. Since then, the national color and the services regimental colors have replaced the British colors during ceremonial parades. These colors are typically consecrated or blessed to instill spiritual significance and reinforce the commitment and solemnity of the role they represent. Ordinarily, the colors are marched on parade during regimental and national parades, and during these parades, the colors forming a color party marches as a component of the parade. However, during change of guards parade like what we are witnessing today, the national and services regimental colors are patrolled in honor of the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and in absolute deference to his exalted office. The Color Patrol is usually made up of selected group of officers and soldiers who are chosen based on their discipline and military bearing. They undergo special training to ensure precision, uniformity, and ceremonial excellence. Overall, the Color Patrol in the Nigerian Armed Forces serve as a visible symbol of national and military pride, honor, and tradition. It reinforces the importance of the Armed Forces' role in protecting the nation and upholding its values, while also showcasing the country's military heritage and identity. The Color Patrol is often done by Guards Brigade during the weekly change of guards parade at the Presidential Villa here and the National Arcade. However, only the National and the Nigerian Army Regimental colors are paraded during the weekly change of guards. The Combined Services Color Patrol, which includes the National Color, Nigerian Army, Navy, and Air Force, is indeed a unique innovation that was first introduced in the historic Nigeria's 63rd Independence Anniversary Parade in year 2023. As we sit back and enjoy the parade by these amazing ensigns to the colors, you will recall that before Nigeria's independence 64 years ago, Nigeria had three regions. That is, the northern, eastern, and western region administered by Nigerians who superintended as premiers for 6 years. Nigerians, however, could not wait to collect the mantle of leadership at the center from the last British Governor General of Nigeria, in the person of Sir James Robertson. It was thus not surprising that the elaborate preparations were made across the country for the historic occasion. There was joy and anxiety as ululating Nigerians stormed the famous Tafawa Balewa Square in Lagos to witness and partake in the celebration of the independence of Nigeria on 1st October 1960. Since then, Nigeria has celebrated its independence anniversary on 1st October of every year till date. And any moment from now, the ensigns will retreat back to their starting points and conclude the Color Patrol. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please happy viewing. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please a round of applause for the ensigns as they conclude the Color Patrol. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, the special guest of honor, distinguished invited guests, very senior officers, members of the diplomatic corps, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the color patrol, we can see the parade commander taking his new position as he awaits the report of the new and old guard commanders. We shall be witnessing that shortly. Both the old and new guard commanders are now marching forward to submit the handing and taking over report to the parade commander. The parade commander just confirmed that they properly handed and took over correctly and ordered them to join their respective guards. Shortly, the parade commander would order the guards to reform, and this is to pave way for other displays to commence. Your Excellencies, most distinguished invited guests, senior officers, ladies and gentlemen, it is the 64th Independence Anniversary celebration of our dear country, Nigeria, happening here live at the forecourt of the Presidential Villa. We just listened to the parade commander giving orders for the guards to march in slow time. This is to enable them reform and pave way for the commencement of other displays. And shortly, we shall witness the display by the Guards Brigade Silent Drill Platoon. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please, happy viewing. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, breaking out brazenly of the guards is the Guards Brigade Silent Drill Platoon. The platoon consists of both male and female soldiers of Guards Brigade Nigerian Army. The purpose of the Silent Drill Platoon is to exemplify the discipline and professionalism of the Nigerian Army. It is a variant of drill that involves complex marching sequences which usually deviate from drill used in the course of ordinary parades. In the course of the drill, we shall witness the synchronization of steps and good mastery of weapons without issuing of orders, as the name silent drill implies. Excellent foot drill, special rifle drill, precision, dexterity, as well as discipline shall be exhibited by the Guards Brigade Silent Drill Platoon. Compliment being paid here to the special guest of honor before the commencement of the display by the Guards Brigade Silent Drill Platoon. Beautiful. Please, a resounding round of applause for the Gas Brigade Silent Drill Platoon. The formation just adopted there is 6-4, symbolizes Nigeria's 64th Independence Day anniversary parade year 2024. Please, another resounding round of applause for the Silent Drill Platoon of Gas Brigade Nigerian Army. For that beautiful formation adopted there. Thank you.
Is it? Hello, okay. What are you talking? Hello. Can you hear? Hello.
And once again, compliment being paid to the special guest of honor, signaling the end of their display today, the first day of October, year 2024. Please, a round of applause for the Gas Brigade Silent Drill Platoon. Thank you. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is still the 64th Independence Anniversary celebration of our dear country, Nigeria, happening here live at the forecourt of the Presidential Villa. What we just witnessed was a display by the Silent Drill Platoon of Gas Brigade Nigerian Army. It may also interest you to know that the Silent Drill Platoon has also performed at the Royal Edinburgh Military Tattoo in Scotland, United Kingdom, in the year 2019. At the end of the performance by the Gas Brigade Silent Drill Platoon, they are now marching in slow time to marry up with the guards that they detached from earlier before the commencement of the display. This is to enable them pave way for the performance by the mass band and the cultural troupe. Thank you very much, Gas Brigade Silent Drill Platoon. Next on our program will be the performance by the Combined Mask Band and the Cultural Troupe, representing the 6 geopolitical zones and the Federal Capital Territory. We shall be witnessing that shortly. As we wait for the commencement at this juncture, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, permit me to hand over the microphone to my co-announcer in the commentary desk, Colonel Adebanjo, retired.
witnessing now will come with the cultural troupe. This display is showing the mass band in a unique performance with the cultural troupe. The mass band will march forward to entertain this special guest of honor. The mass band has formed the file formation, just like we have all-round defense, showing how the military protects civilians. And also this information is to pave way for the cultural display. Your Excellencies, invite
Law at the Nigerian Institute of Advanced Legal Studies, and she has it direct.
about to witness is a cultural performance put together by the cultural troupe. The cultural teams are coming to entertain us with displays from the 6 geopolitical zones of the country. Your Excellency, the special guest of honor, Your Excellencies, members of the diplomatic corps, invited guests, distinguished Nigerians, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, the boat Nigeria is sailing as it's being paddled by all the tribes, all the 6 geopolitical zones of the country. The boat is sailing to the promised destination, having the treasure of the land in it. Now the boat the various cultural displays shall be performed by a group of artists under the Afri Theatre and Snow Plus Media, under the artistic directorship of Opeyemi Alaba Olaore. We have leading the pack are the Ohafia warriors from the southeastern part of our great nation, Nigeria. The Ohafia warriors symbolize our strength as a nation. They are protecting our collective capacity, the land, as well as the territorial integrity of our great nation against external aggression and all forces. The Ohafia warriors are displaying their ability, their agility, their strength, and capacity to do as the nation demands of them. Moving from left to right and ensuring that the land is fully protected. The Ohafia warriors are doing their best and preparing themselves to go lift the national treasure for the world to see. Ladies and gentlemen, you can see the Ohafia warriors bending to lift the national treasure with all their might, with all their strength. Lift, 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 lift. But they cannot do it all by themselves. The southeastern part of Nigeria has just shown us that one region alone cannot lift the national treasure. As they pave the way and leave the stage, the Ohafia warriors have given way for the protected farmer dancers from the northeast of Nigeria. The protected farmer dancers are showcasing the fertile land of our nation, Nigeria, and the rich agricultural economy of the nation. You can see the men with hoes representing giant agricultural machinery to do large-scale farming. Also, we see the women coming closely on their heels to harvest the crops. The men haven't done their bit. Has just shown that all by itself, it cannot lift the national treasure. And as they leave, the elegant Nupe maidens from North Central Nigeria are taking over. Elegant Nupe maidens all the way from North Central Nigeria. Elegance. They have come to show the beauty, and above all, they have come to show the great contributions of Nigerian women to nation building. No doubt, Nigerian women are playing their part, they have played their part, and they will continue to play their part in nation building. Please, enjoy the elegant Nupe maidens from North Central Nigeria. Showcase their ability. There you have the elegant Nupe maidens. And very soon they will also attempt on behalf of the North Central Nigeria to lift the national treasure. But just before then, they will change the rhythm of the beat to show their ability, to show their agility. All right, here we go. Showing their strength, the strength of the Nigerian woman, the ability to do what may appear impossible to others. The elegant Nupe maidens from North Central Nigeria are about to lift what men cannot do. The women should be able to do. Lift. Oh, it's obvious that the North Central part of Nigeria alone cannot lift the national treasure. And so, they will pave the way, leave the center stage, and allow the Apepe dancers, as they leave, Apepe dancers representing the southwest region of Nigeria, coming with their traditional Iro and Buba with Gele. The Apepe dancers are taking the center stage. First, they will demonstrate their strength. They will demonstrate their brain and their brawn, and ability to lift the national treasure. Your Excellency, the special guest of honor, Your Excellency, members of the diplomatic corps, invited guests, distinguished Nigerians, enjoy the Apepe dancers. Apepe dancers representing the southwest of Nigeria, any moment from now, will make their way towards the national treasure, and they will attempt to lift it all by themselves. The southwest of Nigeria, another set of women, women of power and strength, lift,
Hello.
lift, lift.
Hello.
Trafficking, fuel,
Hello.
and this is where traffickers
Hello.
The Southwest
Hello,
Nigeria
hello, hello, hello.
alone cannot lift the national
Hello,
treasure.
hello, hello.
So we will have
Hello,
the
hello, hello.
Colourful dancers,
Eh?
also very agile.
But why is it?
Their
Why?
agility is legendary. The Colourful dancers of Northwest Nigeria are showcasing the strength of gender equality in our nation. Both the men and the women have combined together to show us what the Northwest of Nigeria can do. And like I said, in the spirit of gender equality, probably having combined together, both men and women, they will be able to save Nigeria and showcase the national treasure of our nation. The special guest of honor, Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, distinguished invited guests, distinguished Nigerians, ladies and gentlemen, I'll allow you to watch the Colourful dancers with all their strength and very elegant dance steps. Any moment from now, the Colourful dancers will attempt to lift the national treasure. The Colourful dancers of Northwest Nigeria, combined men and women, lift the national treasure, lift. Oh no. The Northwest all by itself cannot lift the national treasure. That is the message that these dance troops are showing to us. Colourful dancers have paved the way. They are followed by the Nigeria fishermen dancers. Also very agile, coming all the way from the south of Nigeria. The women are leading the way, the men will follow shortly. The women are showcasing the rich blue economy of our nation, Nigeria. They are showcasing its crucially important contribution to nation building. The special guest of honor, Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, invited guests, distinguished Nigerians, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the dance of the South Nigeria. Their men have come in paddling very seriously, very aggressively, very assiduously, paddling to show that the South Nigeria has a capacity, has ability to lift the national treasure. Any moment from now, the men of South Nigeria will approach the national treasure, and maybe, just maybe, the South of Nigeria will be able to lift the national treasure all by itself.